Very cool. Hey, it's 95X Live, and guess who I've got today? It's Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and our listeners and your fans today.
I'm great. Thanks for having me, man.
Appreciate it. And right from the jump, happy belated birthday. I know yesterday was your birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
A great birthday gift that you gave to the world is this new single, Wrecked, off the forthcoming album, Mercury Act 1, that drops everywhere September 3rd. Amazing new song, such a touching tribute. And man, if these first three songs that you've released from Mercury are just a taste of what's to come, I can't tell you how excited I am for this new Imagine Dragons record.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
It's astounding to me to look back on the arc of Imagine Dragons, because in my opinion, having been through the building of the alternative radio format, I genuinely think you guys deserve a huge amount of credit for helping build the format with just hit after hit after hit. The successes that you guys have been monumental in terms of the industry. And I think a lot of that, sir, is due to your songwriting and your ability to sort of live your life in the public eye and not duck out when things get tough. You have shown since day one that you are willing to write these very personal and touching and autobiographical songs and share your experiences with the world.
Thank you, man. You know, I got to credit a lot of actually alternative radio, because I grew up listening to alternative radio my entire life. Sitting, you know, when I was 12, I would sit there with a tape recorder and make mixtapes and record. When my favorite song would come on, I'd hit record and I'd make all these tapes, and that's all I listened to and consumed. So yeah, it's kind of full circle. You know, I really wouldn't be making songs like this if it weren't for people like you and stations that have been believing in alternative music and spinning it for years.
Absolutely. I think you guys came along at a point where alternative radio was starting to rear its head again, because even our station was an active rock station. And for those that don't understand the radio terminology, we were playing more things along the lines of Godsmack and Disturbed when Radioactive and Demons dropped, and they sounded very starkly different than the landscape at the time. And I ultimately think that the success that you guys had, along with upstarts like 21 Pilots and in later years Billie Eilish, were what made alternative radio such a viable commodity.
Yeah, you know, it's I think it's one of those relationships that's just it goes both ways, and we've just been really lucky. And I attribute all the success we've had to people who believed in us and spun our records. So, you know, it goes both ways. So appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, here's what I'll say. Taking radio out of it, I think the success of the band is truly due to how honest the music is and how it really connects to people on a level where you have a tendency to talk about things that everybody experiences, but not everybody has the guts to say out loud. And to me, I think that's tantamount to the success of Imagine Dragons, is the amount of personal effect there is, not only in the lyrics, but the music.
Yeah, you know, I don't really know how to write any other way. When I started writing in my early teenage years, it was always a journal for me. Right? It was my way to express things that I couldn't express out loud, and a safety place for me, a place to kind of put my emotions in words. It was cathartic for me. So it's not even by choice necessarily. It's just the only way I know to write is to write from a personal place. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. I always have, for better or for worse, since I was a young kid. Yeah, so I think it's just a natural result of my songwriting process.
Absolutely. And I love what you do, sir. It's absolutely amazing. The new album, again, is called Mercury Act 1. It drops everywhere September 3rd. And you worked with somebody who's been a childhood icon of mine with this record, with Rick Rubin, the dude behind the Beastie Boys and some of the most popular Red Hot Chili Peppers records, but also had a drastic change in, you know, a time period where he worked with guys like Johnny Cash. What was the experience like working with such an industry icon and somebody who is kind of, in his own way, sort of like this mysterious character all unto himself?
Yeah, Rick is working with Rick was incredible. This was our first experience of working with him, and it's really hard to sum it up in a short way because he's such a complex human being and a complex artist. But we connected really quickly when we were kind of feeling it out, and it seemed like it was an obvious right fit for us for our fifth record and what we were looking to do and kind of go to a different place. And Rick's really good at pushing you to do that, and he's also really good at honesty. So that his biggest strength is everything is about honesty. That's it. And as we get later in our career, that really is all I care about, is creating honest music, so that at the end of the day, when life is over, and my art is just a reflection of my honest existence, and that was my ultimate goal. And Rick is incredibly good at pushing you to always be honest and raw.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great match for somebody who writes the way you do, because there's an obvious synergy, especially with these 3 songs that have been released. I love all of your previous work, but there's definitely a special and distinct sound to the 3 tracks that have come out from Mercury Act 1 so far. I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm chomping at the bit for this new record. I genuinely can't wait. And the thing that has my mind like in this such a fervent state is that you've called it Mercury Act 1. And not to be presumptuous, but to me, that screams, oh, is there going to be a volume 2? Maybe there'll be a volume 3. Is this setting the table for what's to come, or is it something that's just sort of lost in the vapor as far as the idealism?
Yeah, no, we certainly are, everything we do, is definitely thought out, and absolutely, when there's an Act 1, it's always going to be followed by at least an Act 2. And I can tell you that we've been working on this body of work for 3 years, which is a long time for us. Typically, we take off just a year or 2 between cycles, so 3 years is a long time, and a lot happened in those 3 years. And to tell that properly, there's a certain structure that made sense in my mind, and that made sense in the mind of everybody else when we put it together.
I'm so excited to see what comes next for you guys. And one of the things that I definitely want to talk about, because I saw an article recently, and one of my coworkers is a big gamer, and I saw that you and your brother are working on a PC-based game, and you've talked about how you've done all the music for it and the voices and everything else. But the concept of the game still seems to be a mystery. Is that on purpose, or are you willing to kind of talk about what the game is about?
Yeah, it really has been on purpose, just because I've been working with this team for over a year. It was me and my brother, and then we brought on artist after artist, and it ended up being about a dozen people working on this indie project for over a year. And we're getting to a place here soon where we'll be able to start unveiling those things. But there's been so much effort and put into it that I just want to be careful with how much we say. But I can tell you this, years ago, I got on my Instagram, I think it was probably a year and a half ago, actually. I got on my Instagram and I shared a little bit about, hey, this has always been a dream. This is something I wanted to do. I'd been taking courses in C# and Unity for previous years, and trying to kind of understand the complexities of development. And so I talked a little bit about it. I showed some like little sketch drawings I had, and that was the original kernel that became what it is today. So there are some tidbits out there.
Very cool. We'll keep our ear to the ground on that, because I'm very excited to see what comes out of that. And I want to end on kind of a heavy note, because for me, not that I am anything outside of Syracuse, New York, but over the course of my career, which is almost 30 years at this point, I've always taken sort of a mentorship role to try and bring along the youth. And that's something that I see you doing on a regular basis. And you're also a hero within the LGBTQ community, and rightfully so. Whether it's there's so many things, whether it's using your money for the Loud Love Festival. But recently, you've teamed up with, and I'm going to look for their names here, Tim Cook from Apple and Ryan Smith, who owns the Utah Jazz, to donate a safe house in your hometown of Las Vegas for youth in the LGBTQ community that need it. And to me, like, I don't know that there's a better role model in the music industry than you, for the fact that you are so out there and helping on such a level, and you're so humble about it. And to me, that speaks volumes about who you are as an artist, but more so about who you are as a human being. And I think that, taking the music industry stuff aside, there needs to be more human beings like you in the world for us to progress. And I just wanted to say thank you for all that you do, and for your constant efforts in bringing to light these issues, because otherwise I think there would be one less voice. And I think that for everything that you've done, I'm thankful for the lives that have been saved and the courage that you've been able to instill in the youth in this movement in America. So thank you for that, because it means a lot to a lot of people.
Really appreciate it, man. Yeah, I had a lot of friends and family that are within that community, and grew up around it. And it's, those who are stigmatized, those who have been beat up by the world, need everyone to rally around and to change things. And so I'm just trying to do my part, and I could do a lot more. But yeah, appreciate it.
Well, just the fact that you snuck in I could do a lot more, man, like that speaks volumes to me about who you are as a person. And it makes you, in my eyes, a hero to an entire generation. And I really hope that that's not lost on a lot of people, because it's important for me that people that have a platform share it for people that might not necessarily have one of their own. And I think if more artists, more celebrities, whatever term you want to use, were willing to fight for the things that they believed in, and the world at large could be a better place. And I think that you are the one person that is leading that charge. And I will stand on rooftops and shout that for my life, because I'm very proud to have this opportunity to talk to you and to have this conversation, because I want there to be more acceptance in general in the world. And I think the music of Imagine Dragons and your actions are 100% a medicine for, something that desperately needs a cure in America right now.
Well, we all need a little love, right? So that's all this band is about. That's all it's ever been about, is just trying to spread a little bit more joy, love. And sometimes you have to write a sad song to feel the joy and feel connected to humanity. And that's kind of what Wrecked has been. And but really appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words, and thank you for all the support throughout the years. It really means a lot.
You're very welcome, and there's no thanks necessary. You're doing it right, and we have nothing but respect and love for you and the band here in Syracuse. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to do this today and let me just kind of ramble at you. It's very much appreciated. You are by far the brightest shining light in the alternative world in my eyes right now, and I can't wait for Mercury Act 1 to drop on September 3rd. It's truly like the one thing that's making me wish that summer ended sooner.
Thanks, man. Thank you. That means a lot. Appreciate that. Dan,
thank you again for your time today. Good luck with everything, and congratulations on all of your successes.
All right, brother. Be safe. See you again soon.
Take care, Dan.
Thanks, man.